MSC Cruises is expanding its... What was it called? Hi guys, it's Shipface here, and this is this week's cruise news. Just before I get into the news, we just got back from a really enjoyable 8-night cruise on Celebrity Apex, the first sailing out of the UK. I have officially done my ship tour. I'm going to post it tomorrow morning after I'm posting my news today. It's a day late. I was literally so focused on getting the ship tour done. I was like 3/4 of the way through it, and I would have to stop, save it, and sometimes my program with saving stuff is a bit dodgy, so I just hammered through it and I finished it at like 4 in the morning. But yeah, I got my ship model. Everyone knows I love my ship models. It moves. I did not expect that when seeing it. I thought it'd be like stable. That's where it was the whole cruise. On our cruise it never moved. Apparently it can move, but we never saw it, unfortunately. But we had a really fun time. We're going to be doing a whole review. I've already got my room tours out if you want to check those out. I did it on a spacious ocean view and a accessible infinite veranda. And I keep saying, if you're not too fussed about the accessible part of the room, the infinite veranda, I explain how it all works and what the buttons do and what it looks like, because it's kind of the same, it's just not as big and wide. So yeah, definitely go check that out if you are interested. And like I said, we really enjoyed our time, so stay tuned for the review, and we'll go through all the food, the entertainment, the service. So yeah, we will be going through it all. My girlfriend came back from the cruise not very well, so she did the voiceover on Anthem, but she hasn't done the voiceover this time because I wanted to get the ship tour out, and she's not very well. So yeah, she will be in the review whenever we have time to do the review. So this first news story isn't actually like a news story, but it's something I saw on my cruise firsthand, which I haven't seen before. Maybe it was on my own when I went 2 years ago to Norway. But I actually saw them using the shore power and seeing it plugged in some of the ports in Norway. And it was kind of cool to see because the captain did announce over the tannoy that we actually switched off all engines and we were literally using the power on the side of the port, which was it was quite cool that there's this sort of technology out there now. I know it's been there for a couple of years, but now they're just building it in more and more ports. Some of the ports I didn't see it in because sometimes, especially at Geringer, it's not much of a port. It's literally like this bridge, so they can't really use the shore power there. It was a more bigger port in Norway, so it was Kristiansand. I can't say that. Basically, when you go to Norway, you're going to places you don't know how to pronounce. And it used it in another place that I can't remember. No, I can't remember. It's one with a big hill with lots of steps. And yeah, I saw that. I took a few pictures of it. And it just looked really cool. And it was glad that they were using fully that and not any of the engines of putting any of the gases in the sky. Because in a few years, Norway are banning cruise ships, if I am not mistaken. They're not banning cruise ships for the big ports, so like Oslo, and the more out of... They're banning them for the fjords, so we're talking Flam, Geringer, Olden, those sort of places, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong here, but I think they are. Which would be really a shame because we literally had one of the best experiences. It was during the last game when we lost the league, so it was a bit upsetting. But we were on the sunset bar right to the back of the ship, and we were doing 360s around the Seven Sisters waterfall. So the scenery was nice. Just what was happening on my iPad wasn't. So it's yeah, we were doing 360s, and all the crew were coming out and taking pictures with all the waterfalls and stuff. And it was a really nice atmosphere, just seeing everyone we're literally just doing this 360, and they had the lifeboats covering us all as well, so that the ship was in the right place. It was a really cool experience. Hopefully that if you're doing a Norwegian Fjords cruise on any ship, but if they're doing on Celebrity Apex with this captain, he will do I hope he does the 360 for you around the Seven Sisters waterfall, because it was a really cool thing to see and experience. So now the first actual real news story this week is that Icon of the Seas had a short power outage. Now I saw this when I was on board. It ranged between 10 minutes to an hour, according to certain people, and it affected the propulsion system, the water slides, the pumps that put the water in the slides, some lights, elevators. Kind of a scary thing. I've tried to do as much research. I don't know if it was at sea or if it was docked. I think it was at sea, because if it was at sea, then we saw what happened when the ship goes out of power in a port with that tanker in Baltimore. They just went to a bridge because the propulsion system wasn't working, or they couldn't turn it because of the power. I can't remember the full story. But if it was just in the open sea, it's not like the end of the world. But if it happens in like a port in one of the, especially some of the ports in the Caribbean, like Cozumel, where there's lots of ships around you, Nassau, I know Icon doesn't go there. I'm just saying as a ship, it's just quite interesting that it actually happened, especially for such a brand new ship. If it happened in one of the older ships, then it still shouldn't happen, but you could expect it. But this ship isn't even like 7 months old, so it was a really interesting and weird thing to happen. And then I saw more videos of ships practicing blackouts. I don't know if anyone else saw this after what happened on Icon. I thought I saw on Freedom of the Seas they practiced a power outage for, I think it was like 30 seconds, and then tried to restore everything as quick as they can. Maybe because of Icon, they've triggered something to do it across the fleet to see how quickly they can get everything back up and running. So that's quite interesting to see that knock-on effect. Because it was like the whole promenade was like pitch black, and obviously there was some lights because there were people on the ship, but they said, yeah, we're going to do this for 30 seconds, and they switched it all off, and then switched it all back on again. So it's quite interesting to see, just because of that one instant, what they're doing now across the fleet to make sure that if it happens at any other ship, that they're prepared to get it up and running as quick as possible. So yeah, really interesting from Icon of the Seas this week. Now, MSC Cruises has announced they are expanding its family program. They're extending hours. They're also now, instead of, it used to be 1 year and older they looked after, it's now going to be 6 months and older. They're also going to be putting on more, it also says the family activities as well. So it's the kids and family. So we do more family game shows. They've partnered up with this brand, and they're going to be doing stuff on the ship. Obviously, they already have a partner with Lego. So there's some cool Lego sets. We need to walk out into partner with Lego so I can get a Lego Icon of the Seas, because I got my Lego MSC ship here. We need to sort of Royal Caribbean one. I could make my own probably. There's a really good Instagram account that does build in Lego. A few years ago, I know he's still around, but I don't know how much Lego he actually still builds. Yeah, it's I need to bring out a bigger model as well, but I don't know where the market is for it. It might just be myself. But yeah, so they've partnered up with it, and they're going to be sending more, and it's going to be starting in the summer 2024. So for the summer holidays, for the UK and for Europe, I don't know exactly what the term times are, but yeah, they're starting this new family and kids plan for the summer of this year. So this was a very interesting article I got sent last night. I had to get it translated. It was not in my language. Yes, this is Rumour Mill. I went to the Rumour Mill a few weeks ago for the Legend of the Seas, the new name of the Icon. But this is that MSC are in talks with the same shipyard in it's Finland, Turkey or something like that. That is building an Icon of the Seas. That MSC are now in talks to try and build and design a ship bigger than Icon, which is. I know MSC. We've talked about this with their neighbourhoods. It's not neighbourhoods. It's I can't remember the word of it now, but their version of neighbourhoods, districts. It's districts. Yeah, they're trying to design, or they're in talks with that shipyard to design a bigger ship than Icon. Knowing MSC, I have like 1,000 more people on, but yeah, it's going to be really interesting. We're talking like they're in early talks. The ship's not even got a design yet. They must have an idea. If they're trying to talk, then they got an idea of what they want to build. But it can't be much bigger because due to that bridge that it has to go under, so it might be longer or heavier. I have no idea, but obviously MSC have got an idea, and they want to have the largest ship in the world, which Royal Caribbean had for decades. So it'd be really interesting to see if this does go ahead. It might just be all talk, and it might not be true whatsoever. But it is that they're in talks. I don't know what else. That it would just be because Icon's 250,000 tons, so we're talking they might just go 60,000 tons just to be bigger than Icon, because yeah, I just don't know what else they can add, and they've already got the 200-ton ships of World Europa, and they're building 3. Is it 5? Is it 6 of those? They got Asia that's coming out, and obviously America coming out. They got Europa, and I swear they're planning to build 2 or 3 more, maybe. And they've got all these Arubia that just came out. I'm not sure that they're not planning to build any more of those. I'm not sure. So yeah, this would be like their next class and their next big idea. So it'd be really interesting to see if that does go ahead. Like I said, we're probably talking about 8 to 10 years away, same as Norwegian. They're planning to build a 200-ton ship, but they're in early stages of financing, so that won't be here till 2030 minimum. So yeah, we're talking, like I said, 10 years into the future, but there is early talks that MSC are planning to build something bigger than Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, at this point, you're talking like these ships aren't going to get into many or any ports at some point. Like Icon can only go to where it is stationed, can only go to so many ports in the Caribbean. So it's like they're really pushing it to the limits. Where, well, it's when the Oasis class came out and half the ports in the Caribbean couldn't have it. But because of how popular it was, the ports all started digging their grounds up to make sure they can get this big 6,000 people shipping. So I'm not saying if they keep going bigger that the ports won't like facilitate for them. But then also it's just more people come into their ports, and so, some Caribbean islands are not as happy with all these tourists coming. So it'd be really interesting to see, especially where it goes, because MSC is more of an Italian cruise line. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a big ship like that in Europe to start, and not America. But MSC are starting to starting to go to America more. So it's gonna really be interesting. But we're talking like 10 years, so it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be forgotten about this video by the time anything is announced anyway. That is all the news I've got for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching. Put in the comments below, what would you think if MSC can come up with a bigger ship? And I don't know what else they could put on it. Carnival's got a roller coaster. Norwegian's got a go-kart track. There's rock climbing walls on all of them, or ropes courses. We've got ice skating rinks. We've got bumper cars. We've got skydiving. What else? The MSC's got that grabby on thing from like Western Supermare. The only people from the UK would probably know that. Yeah, what else could be? I know they have to keep on coming up with new ideas. Because think about it, with Icon, as much as it is big, there's not actually many. Okay, they got water slides. They got lots of record-breaking water slides and like biggest ice rink, biggest this, biggest that. There's not actually anything new, if you know what I'm saying. When they brought out the Quantum class, the skydiving was new. The bumper cars were new. I think I'm correct with that. And the North Star obviously was new as well. So like it was new, like things we've never seen before. But Icon, as much as it is new, it's really cool. I like the idea, and I am booked to go on it. It's not actually anything groundbreakingly new. If I'm trying to think, obviously like the technique of the dome at the front is new and hard to do. Apparently from all the videos they were posting about it. Then they got the diving shows, and then they've got an ice skating rink, but it's just the biggest ice skating rink. And then they got Central Park, but it's just a bigger Central Park. So it's not actually anything like new. And they got 7 pools. One's the biggest, one's the most suspended one. It's just record breakers across the whole ship, but there's not actually anything new. It's just all on one ship, which is not what you normally get. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what MSC actually come up with, or is it just going to be a bigger version of World Europa with a few more restaurants, and they might stick a 15-story slide instead of a 10-story slide. We don't know, but it'd be interesting to see what they can do new. So yeah, put in the comments below, what do you think of them building even a bigger ship, or even talks of a bigger ship being built? I know lots of people who watch my videos are not too sure on these big ships. So yeah, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Shipfaced here. If you like what I see, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's very much appreciated, and it really does help me out. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter, so the link is in the description below. Go and follow me on those platforms. Thank you to Cruising for One and my dad for the Shipface. Thank you. This is such a long take. Thank you to Cruising for One and my dad for the support on the Shipface crew. If you want to find out all about the Shipface crew, links in the description below. Go and check that out. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Shipfaced here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.